all of that. But first, joining us is a longtime good friend of mine, and she is the author of numerous best-selling books. The latest, of course, is In Trump We Trust, and Coulter is with us. How are you, Miss Coulter? Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, Sean Hannity. 12 New York Times bestsellers.
That's right. This is now is it 12 or 13?
This is 12.
Didn't I say 13? I gave you one extra book the last time.
Great.
How do you feel about the election right now?
About the same as I have since he came down the escalator. I always thought he had a 90% chance of winning the nomination and a 60% chance of winning the presidency. And I haven't really changed, and I hope, I would like to tell your listeners, don't be discouraged no matter what state you're in, just vote. Let them be exuberant. I think the map is going to be very different from any map we're used to seeing in our lifetime. States that have been completely out of reach for Republicans, I think could be in play. And you know, who knows? Maybe we'll lose Utah because of the Mormons. So I don't think so. I don't think there's any chance. Mormons are loyal Republicans, unlike so many of your friends, Sean. But because of the issues Trump is running on, the issues I've been dying for a president to run on, it really changes normal categories, and I think that's what I think. So just don't forget to vote.
If you were going to, well, let me ask you this. What did you think of the debate between Tim Kaine, Mr. Interrupter, and Governor Mike Pence the other day?
Oh, my gosh. It was like being on TV with Paul Begala or these liberals.
That's
when
true.
Did smirking become, the go-to move on the left? I've never heard anyone say, I really like her show. I just wish Rachel Maddow would smirk more. That is the defining characteristics of MSNBC. It is apparently the defining characteristic of the entire Democratic Party, this mocking and smirking. I mean, whatever people say about Fox News, I can't think of anybody on Fox News who smirks. There's no that smirking and interrupting. That's point one. Point two is it's interesting to me that that Kaine is playing so much to identity politics, to this social justice warrior thing, that in his opening statement he's going right back to segregated America. And then later in the debate, when he's asked about guns, he, like all Democrats, lied and said, oh, yes, I'm a proud gun owner, and then moved into one of the people killed at Virginia Tech, who was a Holocaust survivor. Well, a lot of people are killed at Virginia Tech. It's very strange that they keep going to, pushing the buttons of identity politics. One of the things I like about Trump is that he just blows through all that by appealing to all of us as Americans.
Look, I think the Trump agenda is actually very, very profound and very, very simple at the same time. And yes. I think this is one of the biggest choice elections America's ever going to have. Now, I don't really disagree with your assessment about 60%. I don't know. But if you look at the polls, I mean, it is so tight. It is so close. I think it could go either way. And it's ridiculous that people so many people might make their decision on whether or not a candidate robotically regurgitates prepared lines written by other people as a qualification for president. That is a bit frustrating personally to me, because that's what professional politicians do. It's not what Trump does. It's not who he is. And with that said, I'm not sure what impact these last two debates will have. But for me, the election has this. We're either going to fix our economy and go back to cutting taxes and allow trillions of dollars back into the country and become a country that has one of the lowest corporate tax rates, so they'll invest in America, or raise taxes. We're either going to...
I think it's so much bigger than that.
Well, I didn't finish my point because you interrupted me.
Election where we decide whether we're going to be America or not. I mean, you have these huge hurricane warnings coming through. It's gone through, Haiti and the Bahamas, headed for Florida. Well, what is the number one predictor of how many people will die in a disaster, whether it's an earthquake, or hurricane or whatever it is the standard of living. First world countries take care of their own. You saw the story out of Sweden today, the migrants coming in raping a woman who was in a wheelchair. This is not the time for Republicans to be going back, and I had a caller into a radio show yesterday, demanding to know if Trump really believed it on abortion, and I lost my temper. This is if Trump loses this election, the entire country becomes California. Within 10 years, we have 9 Ruth Bader Ginsburgs on the Supreme Court. You are not only losing abortion, you are not only losing your guns, you are losing your country. And that's why the Democrats, Tim Kaine particularly in that debate, it was kind of embarrassing how he was doing it, and the entire media, they want to fixate on Donald Trump's personal baggage. Look, we've been trying to get anybody else to raise these issues for us, mainly immigration. Also, did you see today, or I guess yesterday, a refugee being flown in from the Congo, vomiting and with diarrhea, died upon landing in O'Hare. So our entire government policy, immigration policy, is to replace ourselves with other people from the third world. That will continue at breakneck speed under Hillary Clinton because the Democrats figure we'll have a governing majority, and the rich think, great, we get the cheap labor, and who cares about the working class, and who cares about America? But to most Americans, the most precious thing we own is being an American citizen, and that will be, about the same as being a Haitian citizen or a citizen of the Congo if we lose this election within 10 years. There will be no point to what you do, to what I do, to the cable news. It will be gone in a decade or so, and there's no coming back from that.
I think it is that deep and that profound. But just to finish my thought, it's about the economy. It's about raising taxes, cutting taxes. It's about energy independence or dependence. It's about repealing Obamacare, not repealing it. It's about impacting this country for generations with our Supreme Court. It's about saying radical Islam or not. It's about gambling with Americans' lives or vetting refugees like Trump wants to do. It's about border security for national security purposes and the economy. It's about our military. It's about our role in the world. It's about education. There are deep and there are significant and profound differences between these two people. And Hillary doesn't want to talk about the economy. Hillary doesn't want to talk about her foreign policy because she's failed. So the only thing she's got left is Donald Trump said 22 years ago, blah, 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 blah.
Right, and it's pretty thin gruel when this latest one, the Hispanic mattress girl, Alicia Machado, now today she's saying, oh, I'm not talking about Trump anymore. It's their big heroine of the
last debate.
Yes, of what a brute Donald Trump is. The father, she has an anchor baby in this country, so that's fantastic. The father is a drug lord. She was the accused getaway car driver in Venezuela of her boyfriend who shot up his brother-in-law's funeral, and a federal judge went on TV and national TV in Venezuela and said that she had threatened to kill him. That's the poster child for our immigration policy. They looked and they looked. They've had a year. What are we going to bring in? We need, the most sympathetic case, and that's the one they come up with. It's Alicia Machado, the new Hispanic mattress girl. She was just made a citizen in August.
What do you mean by mattress girl? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh, remember the whole hysteria over Mattress Girl at Columbia? I just mean she's, it's like an it girl, except it's Mattress Girl.
Oh, good grief.
The media goes
I am not
crazy.
responsible if this is obscene in some way, and I don't even know what you're referring to. I'm just
Have you
asking.
been in a coma for the last 2 years? There was that woman doing an art project, walking around with a mattress on her back, and the whole thing turned out to be fake.
Oh, I remember. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, for
You have to keep up with the news, Sean.
This is what I do for a living. All right, keep going.
Yes, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
What is a Hispanic mattress girl going to be doing in this country now? What are her job skills? No, we'll be supporting her and her anchor baby for the rest of their lives. That's how you save Social Security. That's how you save Medicare, give tax cuts, and not blow up the federal budget by not bringing in lots of third world immigrants and immediately putting them on, having them collect welfare. Well, that was number 2 or 3 on Donald Trump's list of deportation priorities. When I saw Kaine and Pence talking about Social Security, I was a little frustrated. And by the way, Pence was fantastic. But I was a little frustrated that Pence didn't say, no, we can shore up Social Security if we stop bringing in all of these immigrants who immediately go on Social Security. This is for our poor people. This is what this election is about. Do we take care of our own, or do we? I mean, the only way you stop having migrant crises is when the entire world is exactly the same. One country is no different from another, so there's never a reason to move from one country to another. But good luck to the rest of the world when you don't have the United States of America around to save you anymore.
Well, I think that's all a good point, and it's really a scary time for me. You know what's so frustrating to me? There's so many. What do you think in terms of tactics that Trump ought to use as she dumps the kitchen sink? What would you advise him if you were talking to him? I'm interested.
Well, this one's going to be trickier than the other ones because CNN is doing it, and it's going to be, quote, town hall, as if these are ordinary Americans. So I assume it's going to be one Khizr Khan after another standing up and denouncing Trump for this or that policy. Now, of course, Trump has to be nice to these people. But at some point, if it goes the way I expect it to go, I think he's got to start saying to the 90 million people watching, look, I've spoken directly to millions of people in America. I hold 30,000 person rallies, and the main issue Americans are worried about is not transgender bathrooms. It is not global warming. Can we talk about the issues that some of your viewers may be interested in? But he's a charming person. And I just think he has to be charming at the debate, which I think he will be. He's come back from debates. I mean, I thought it was a draw. I wrote about it last week.
No.
I thought it was good when he's on policy, but I suppose the one thing that he needs to keep in his mind, you win on policy. Don't let them distract you.
I agree. He should
with
pivot off
personal stuff. And in fact, for any personal question, he should just say, that's not important. This is what's important.
Agreed.
Trade, immigration, and he can have Stephen Miller, his speechwriter, in the back room say, go to my webpage responding to each one of the personal attacks. Because, listen, America, this is the combine that is running the country. They are running it for their own benefit. You're suffering. You're going to keep suffering. If you want to change things the way they are, you have one choice to vote for Trump, and that's why they don't want to talk about the issues. They want to talk about anything but the issues.
And then, of course, you got to watch out, like, for example, Hillary's planted questions in Haverford or climate change question in '07, where the college student that they manipulated spoke out. And then, of course, Steve Harvey just hands you every question ahead of time, apparently. I didn't know that. I've never been a guest on Steve Harvey's show.
Wait, isn't that great? Do your listeners know the details of that she had a little girl at a rally hold up her hand and ask something about, what was it, about how Trump is mean to women, and it turns out it was a planted question. They got a child actress to ask Hillary this question.
I actually have it. Listen to this.
Hi, Madam Secretary. I'm Brennan, and I'm 15 years old. At my school, body image is a really big issue for girls my age. I see with my own eyes the damage Donald Trump does when he talks about women and how they look. As the first female president, how would you undo some of that damage and help girls understand that they are so much more than just what they look like?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow. I am so proud of you for asking that question.
Yeah, I love planted questions, too.
My oldest brother's wife used to work for Johnson & Johnson. She got all these women's magazines. She was Harvard Business School. She never read them. But my brother read them all. And having spent, all this time reading all these women's magazines, he told me that his conclusion was the articles were all only one of two varieties. One, how to get a man. Two, why you don't need a man. And it's the same thing with this obsession with fat shaming. All of women's literature is either, how to get the perfect body or you don't need a perfect body.
Now, I got to tell you, Ann Coulter, you cracked me up. I don't know if I'd want you debate prepping any candidate, though. By the way, Brennan Leach's daughter the daughter of Dalen Leach, whose dad is the Democratic state senator, Dalen Leach. So that's how deep that connection goes for that planted question.
I have had more debates than probably anyone alive in America.
I know, but you can't do Ann Coulter-style debates at a presidential debate.
If Democrats thought I wasn't good, I think they'd debate me more, Sean.
No. Listen, I have been. Listen, you forget. I have been out on the road with you. I have watched you on stage.
Your media betters apparently.
I have introduced you on stage. I love how you debate. I'm just saying. I think a couple of those Ann Coulter lines might just kind of cross the line.
Like Donald Trump. This is the same mistake people make with Donald Trump, as if the only mode he has is the rally mode, or the only way he speaks is through Twitter. You speak to your mother differently than you speak to your boss. You speak to some audiences differently than you speak to other audiences.
I got it. Listen, I got to roll.
Capable of doing that. Hey, I'm speaking at the Reagan Library this Tuesday.
Okay, this Tuesday you're at the Reagan Library?
Simi Valley. Yes, I am. I can't wait.
Ann Coulter, I love you. You're my adopted sister. God bless you. Thank you.
Bye, Sean. Bye-bye.